It's been a while since I've done a video like this, you know, just the two of us having a conversation. Granted, though, I am talking to a camera lens. For those of you who are new to my channel, hi, pleased to meet you. My name's Chloe. I am 24 and I have been in a wheelchair since New Year's Eve 2007 when I fell off a roof. It's a little bit of a long story. There's many videos that I've done explaining it, so if you want to click on those, rather than me getting into it, it's a very long story. In the 7 years that I've been in a wheelchair, I haven't come across that many issues, but if I could pinpoint just two of them. Okay, number one, this is probably an issue that many other people come across, and it's not really a big deal, but it just bugs the shit out of me. Do you know, like, when you're walking down the street and there is, say, two people, maybe 3 or 4 people walking very slowly, and you try and get past them, you can't get past them, and they're oblivious to, excuse me, hello, like trying to, you know, tap them on the shoulder, say, excuse me, can I get past you? Nothing. That bugs me, and especially if I'm in like a high traffic area, like, you know, in a shopping center. It's so hard to get past people when there is a large amount of people in a circle having a conversation and they're oblivious to anybody who's trying to get past them. Especially with me, I have a power wheelchair. This chair can be dangerous if you don't know how to use it, and there has been a few times when I have run into people, not on purpose, totally by accident. There was one issue when I was going up an escalator and there was 2 ladies that they stopped. Where the escalator stopped moving, they stopped and they were just looking around. And I was yelling at them, excuse me, can you move, please, hello, hello. I was yelling and they didn't hear me, and I clipped the lady's leg and I felt so bad, but I thought, what an idiot. Why did she just stand there? Anyway, back to the number 2. Number 2 on my really pisses me off list is when people use the disabled toilets and they do not have a disability. Okay, I understand if it's like a mum that has a baby in a pram and she needs to use the toilet. That's fine, doesn't bother me at all. It's, if you need to go, you need to go, and what are you gonna do, leave the baby in the hall? No, I understand that. But when people walk out and they clearly do not have a disability, okay, that bugs me. But what pisses me off even more is when I go into the disabled toilets after someone without a disability has just walked out and they didn't flush the toilet. I'm a quadriplegic and I flush the toilet. It's like a simple thing. If you're at somebody's house, you would flush the toilet, right? It's just a common courtesy, and it just bugs the crap out of me when people don't flush the toilet. If you have arms and legs that work and you are using a disabled toilet, alright, in case they don't know, ignorance and stupidity is not a disability. It is not hard to do this, to push the button to flush the toilet. I can understand if it's somebody like, say, an old person that really hands don't work the best anymore, but if it's someone that has arms that work perfectly fine, okay, my arms don't work very good, I still flush the toilet, not a big deal. Anyway, now that I've gotten that off my chest, just had to get that out because it has been bugging me for a long time. That, out of everything, that's the main thing that bugs me, really. I used to get really annoyed when people stared at me, but now it really doesn't bother me. It's lack of understanding when people look at what you don't know. Okay, I admit, yes, if I see somebody in a wheelchair or somebody with a disability, I used to look, but now I try not to because I know that they don't like being stared at, and honestly, it doesn't bother me anymore, but that's because I've had 7 years to get used to it. And I understand with kids, Like, children just, they stare. Actually, a really funny story. I was at Officeworks and there was this girl who was shopping with her mum. I think the little girl was probably about 3 or 4 maybe. And she was talking to her mum and she was putting stuff in the trolley and she was like, oh yeah, mum. And she was talking to her mum and just rambling and saying what she wanted. And then the second she seen me, she just stopped. She just stared at me. And she walked up to me, looked me up and down, stared at my legs and she goes, did you break your legs? That was the cutest thing. I have never had a child come up and ask me questions like that before. It didn't bother me. And I actually said to the mum, I said, I don't know what you're doing, but good on you. Like, because I'm so used to children just staring at me. But the fact that this little girl, she came up to me and she actually asked me that, oh, my heart melted. It was so cute. If you have a disability or you know somebody who does and there are things like what I've talked about that bug you, please let me know in the comments what they are. I would be really interested to know if other people have these issues or if it's just me. And I think I'm going to leave it there because I've rambled on long enough. So I'll leave it there and I'll see you guys next time.